What's up, Luke?
Hey, James.
Now the season's over. What is your number one priority in this, whatever this offseason is, whether it's short, whether it gets stretched out? But what is the top thing that you want to accomplish this summer?
Well, there's a long list that we'll get to, James. First I'll sit down. I'll sit down with the front office this weekend and go over some things. As a coach, I believe in staying as focused on the present as possible while we're playing. So now that the games are over, when we get back to SAC, Lottie and I will talk. But there's a lot. There's always a lot to do. As far as talking about where we're at as a team, where we're going, draft picks, how this offseason is going to play out. So a lot of stuff to get done this offseason.
Jason Jones.
Hey, Luke.
Jason.
Yeah, just wanted to looking at Jabari. He's a guy that when you got him, he was coming off the injury, then he had to kind of work himself back. Just in terms of the overall value of his experience, was being able to see him more like himself and in shape something that you can take into the off season and look at what he might be able to do if he's back next season?
Yeah, it was one of the advantages of being out here, because when we first got Jabari, like you said, Jason, he was coming off injury and our team was playing the best basketball of the season. So we weren't really going to mess with the rotation much then. And unfortunately for him, then he got coronavirus before this thing started. So even when we got out here, he had to play himself into shape. So it's really the first time we've been able to take a real look at him since he's been with us, that he's been in shape and able to show what he can do. And I thought he did a really nice job with those, with the opportunities the last two games.
Matt George.
Coach, congratulations on the win to end the season. I apologize if you talked about this pregame, but would you explain your reasoning behind playing Bogey, Barnes, and Bielitsa 25-plus minutes and pushing for the win instead of giving maybe big minutes to young players like Justin James or Kyle Guy?
Well, it's the last time we're playing basketball in a long time. And, our guys came out here, we worked hard, and we have to continue to get better. And if we're going to be out there playing a game, we're going to try to win. And we were able to get those other guys minutes. But we still got a lot of work to do. We're not one of the playoff teams yet that can mess around with some of the lineups like that. We have to get better with our group and our players. So today was the last opportunity to do that for a long time.
Marshall Harris.
Luke, at the beginning of the season, some of your players, they said adamantly that the goal was to make the playoffs, and if that didn't happen, the season would not be successful. You didn't co-sign that necessarily. Do you view this season as a success?
Parts of it were a success. Yes, one of the things we want to see the team get better at as the year goes. I felt like you're always trying to play your best basketball, late into March and April, and I thought we were on our way to doing that. So, that part of it I thought was a success. We had we hit a bunch of lows this year too. Some came from injuries, some came from the way we were playing, and that we don't want to see. But as long as you're always looking for the opportunity to learn from our failures, then we can take the season as a whole and make it a success, as long as we come back next year much better and cleaning a lot of that stuff up.
All right, Mark Medina, I think you're there, or?
Hello, Mark.
Sir, good to see you, Luke.
Good to see you.
Hey, kind of a big picture question. Obviously, it's unique circumstances why the NBA is having this play-in tournament this weekend. But what would you think of the idea of that extending into further seasons whenever this becomes normal?
What the actual what part of it? The play-in, like the 9-8.
Yeah.
I think that the normal setup. I know it'll be entertaining. As a coach, I'll watch it. But I think in a normal 82 game season, if you finish with the 8th best record, then you've done your job to deserve the playoffs. So, I'd be more of a traditionalist and sticking with that.
Ohm, is he there?
Not in person, he's not. His own in the bubble.
No. Ohm, I unmuted you. If you can hear me.
Luke, good seeing you, man. I apologize if this was asked this morning, but what is this post-game process like for you to have to bolt almost immediately? And is it a little strange that you've been kind of locked into this bubble for a couple weeks and all of a sudden you guys got to leave immediately?
Yeah, it's very strange. This has been life for, every day for, over a month now. So we're excited to get home and see our families, but it's different. It's, it's one extreme, and then, we're going right back out there to the real world now. And part of the messaging to the players was, guys, we have to be very smart and about how we act when we get out of here, because the coronavirus is still very active, obviously, and it's spreading everywhere. So we've been safe here, but now when we get home, we have a lot of responsibility as far as continuing to wear face masks, continuing to social distance, washing our hands. So normally that's not part of your last game post meeting with the team, but for right now, that's probably the most important messaging to give the guys, because we don't know when we're playing again. So we got to make sure we take care of ourselves and stay safe and healthy.
Blake Ellington, just a few more.
Hey, Coach. Now that the season's over, how would you sort of define the team's identity? And then second part of that question, how would you define success next season going into that year?
Well, I think when, as a team, when we're at our best, we're a selfless group. We have a lot of skill, and we have joy when we're out there playing. I think that we did that tonight. We've done that throughout the season. I think the bubble got the better of us, especially after losing that first game. I feel like it just kind of took the wind out of our sails. But overall, I'm very proud of this group and how they continue to fight all season long. And next season is we don't even know what it is yet. So I know that the West is obviously getting tougher, and I know that we're going to be better as well. And it's going to be whenever we start playing again, it's going to be a heck of a challenge for everybody to try to get into those playoffs out here.
Just a couple more. Jason Anderson.
Hey, Luke, you mentioned those conversations you'll have with Vlade when you get back. What's on the top of the list? What do you feel like is the most important? What are the most important things you guys need to talk about?
Well, I don't think there's something that needs to be said first. I think like every team in the NBA, when they finish their season, it's important for the coach and the front office to kind of get each other's opinions on where we're at and what we need and what the game plan is for this unusual offseason coming forward. So nothing that's more important than anything else, but Jason, a lot of stuff that we have to start dialogue on and start nailing down. I mean, even as far as the draft is concerned, I think most of those workouts are going to be done on Zoom and interviews on Zoom. So there's a ton of stuff for us to cover and start shifting our attention to now that the games are over.
All right, last one, Sean Cunningham.
Yeah, Luke, I was just wanted to ask if you had any, there's obviously frustrations from fans, 14 seasons without playoffs. Would you have any message to maybe any of those fans who might be frustrated?
Yeah, we're doing it. We're working as hard as we can, and we believe in ourselves, and we believe we're going to get back into those playoffs. It just, we got to be patient with the group that we have. This group hasn't been here for those full 14 years, and our goal is to get back in there, and we believe that we will. And we just stick with us and stay patient.